right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Smorgasbord. I'm Tom Vessel.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Zach Garcia, and this is Smorgasbord coming in last and lasty.
And he's coming around the curve.
Oh, somebody swallowed a donut.
What? Who?
Chrissy.
All right, well, anyhow, welcome to our first Smorgasbord post. Us being gone. We've missed two.
Yeah, World Series and...
Thanks to all those who covered for us while we were gone.
Yeah, thanks. Cute job.
All right.
Coming in last place.
Z Garcia's enthusiasm. All righty, we got some news. We got a lot of things going on. Just a reminder, Dice Tower Cruise, running out of rooms. Dice Tower West, lots of rooms there. Come to that. I just saw the Dice Tower West director, Tim, was at Essen Spiel with us and went around and bought all the hot games for Dice Tower
sure
West.
did. You want to be there. You want to play
his
some hot games.
library. Yeah.
So he didn't fool around at all.
He did not fool around. I was like, hey, Tim, how you doing? He's like, I'm not fooling around. I'm picking up games. I was like, I'm sorry. Geez, my goodness. Thought we were friends.
That actually is a realistic conversation.
No, it's not. You're painting him in a very bad light.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Okay, I would never say
that's
these
all
things about
you.
Tim, my good friend Tim.
That's all you. No.
Anyhow, so yeah, sign up for that. DicetowerWest.com or DicetowerCruise.com. You know what? We also...
What do you got?
I was going to do some shout-outs, but I actually don't know where the folder of shout-outs is.
Oh, you should do shout-outs.
Well,
Where'd they go?
Okay, well,
They disappeared while we were
Let's just
gone.
do shout-outs to just some nice folks that we know.
Hey, Bob.
Are they over there?
I want to do a shout-out
Where did they go?
to Enrique.
Enrique?
Yeah, you know,
It should be
Kiko.
like 5 or 6 pages.
You know him.
Total. That's not it, no.
Okay, well, you know what?
Thanks,
We'll do
buddy.
shout-outs another time. You
I
know,
don't
they
like
were
that.
here. Joey did something with it.
See, this is why I'm like, oh, they cover for us? Cute,
That's
cute.
the thing, right?
I'm sure they left
gosh.
it better than when they found it.
It took so long to make that.
Alrighty, well, here we go. Let's jump to the news. Well, our first bit of news is about the Spiel Fair at Essen,
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
which we're going to talk about more on our personal level here.
too soon.
There was 193,000 people, which is blatantly false, but Essen falsely reports this every year.
Yeah, they do this. They do entrances is what they count. I don't know if you knew this. Turnstile count.
Oh, that doesn't make any
So
sense.
it's not 192 or 93,000 people. It is
Visits.
somewhere between a quarter of that and that. Really.
Yes,
You
because
know
it's
what I
like
mean?
because it's number of visits.
Yes.
Not number of people in attendance.
However, having said that, even if you are giving them the absolute worst odds, which is that number divided by 4, that's still almost 50,000 people, and it's definitely more than that because not everybody comes all 4 days.
and I'm
I
pretty
bet
sure
many
all
people
of
came
them.
one day.
Yeah,
all
so
of
it's
them
gotta
were
be
there Saturday.
around 100,000 people.
Yeah,
I think.
I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'd go closer to 80, but
I'm going to go ahead and say 92,000 people were there.
Also, the total area of the fair was 62,500 square meters, which is a lot of square feet. There was 1,700 different novelties. I don't know what that means.
Oh, I guess it's
They don't want to say board games.
right because it also had RPGs.
There's RPGs
It's
and
also,
different things. Yeah, ice cream.
I don't know.
That
Yeah,
counts as
what
a
I mean,
novelty.
they call like there was those wood carving. That wood carving. Does that count?
Yeah,
Do all the
that was
bottles of
pretty.
mead count individually? Where's the line?
They said that they're giving the credit here. It's run. Carol Rapp is a new managing director, and she says everything went well. And part of the changes they made were they sorted the halls into different types of games, which we'll talk about later. They also made the halls wider, which feels like a lie. There was 935 exhibitors from 56 nations.
Wow.
I did feel that. That was cool. It was
That's
very
amazing. I really like that statistic. That is very cool.
Also, the Deutscher Spiel Prize was awarded there. That's the German Gamer Game of the Year. That's where the people can vote on that.
Oh.
It's not as popular as the Kenner Spiel by a mile. It's about as popular as the Dice Tower was.
I was going to say, Dice Tower, I
probably.
didn't want to offend you.
Oof.
No, that's true. First place, Planet Unknown.
Oh,
Second
okay,
place,
good.
Dwarf Romantic, and third place, Heat.
Those are gamers games, though. Interesting.
Yeah, that's because they allow gamers to vote on it. It's
That's
like a
right,
mass,
okay.
like you
Got
could
it.
go vote on it.
Okay.
Best children's game, Mysterium Kids.
Okay.
So all that stuff there, we're going to talk a lot more about this in a bit. Let's jump to other news. Cool Stuff Inc. is no longer selling games. That includes at our local stores here in the area.
So we officially have no game store. Like, we had cool stuff.
Well, it
was,
still
sad.
exists. And I
Right.
talked to them. They're still selling Magic cards and other cards, and we're still allowed to play there.
But we still, but point being, we don't have a like local board game store here anymore.
We have that one, that Troll and Toe one that's up in Coral Gables.
I haven't
That's
been
gone.
there.
Is it?
That's what Kenny said.
Kenny
Wait, does
would-
Miami not
Kenny
have a
would-
game store?
I just said that.
Well, you didn't know that one was gone.
I also didn't know about it, which means it's probably been gone since I've been here.
No. It just
It
Yes, yes,
started
yes,
since
yes,
you've been here, and it's gone now.
it's gone already.
Yeah, I
Wow.
Oh my word.
believe so. It was also in Coral Gables. You
Right.
do not open a board game store in Coral
No.
Gables.
Also, they were closed
It's a
like
very
3 days a
expensive
week.
part of town.
They were
Like-
closed like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday or something
Yeah, it's
random.
like,
they
sorry,
super
you're
weird
not
out.
gonna make
Because
it,
I
you
went
know?
twice, and both times they were closed.
It was.
So I guess I
Parking
didn't
there
know
is
about
terrible,
it. 'Cause
and
you're
it
talking about
definitely-
the goblin one, right?
Yes.
So-
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And it was in the richest part of Miami for sure.
Yeah.
Like we don't go there because we can't afford to.
So, question: have you been to Cool Stuff locally since this change?
I have not actually. Kenny was.
Are all the games just not on the shelf anymore?
That's what Well, they were blowing him out. I think last time he was there. That's why he was there.
Of course it was. I mean, why would Kenny go there if not to get a
To be
deal?
fair, a lot of them were
They
like
call
sun
him
bleached.
Kenny, the bottom feeder.
You're full of positivity today. This is good.
I
I'm just gonna sit back. Let this
The
happen.
stain I said it with too. The bottom
taking
feeder.
everybody
No,
down.
Kenny knows how to sniff out a deal. Is my point.
I guess Barnes and Nobles is our local game store now.
Okay, that's sad.
I know, that's
okay?
really sad. That's what I'm saying. Like, South Florida, doing
We'll
me
always
dirty.
have borders.
What's that? Borders. All right. Anyhow, Cool Stuff is still selling collectible card games, and they're also part of the other half of the Cool Stuff, which a lot of people don't know about, is Quartermaster Logistics, which has a huge. They deliver crowdfunding to pretty much a lot of not all Kickstarters, obviously, but a good chunk of them. And they started a new Quartermaster Direct division, which sells board games directly to publishers. So they're still selling board games.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, not to publishers, but to stores. So, like, if you're a retail store, you can go to Quartermaster Direct and be like, I would like all these games. So they're acting as a distributor for smaller people. Let's say I run a Kickstarter. I'm like, oh, I have 500 extra games. Hey, Quartermaster,
Yeah,
sell
yeah.
these to game stores for me.
To game stores directly.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Well, I've already sold them to people directly through Kickstarter.
Look at Mike's comment here. It says, Kenny's condo is the only LGS now. Notice the lack of F.
That's true. I guess if we do want games, we can find Kenny.
You can always,
true.
you can always find Kenny and get a deal.
All right, so when I need you down to Miami. All right.
And open a game store. Please.
Arcane Wonders, I don't normally talk about contests, but I'm mentioning this one because it is a contest for Dice Manor, which is a Dice Tower essential. Take a picture of yourself playing Dice Manor Dubious and hashtag them with Arcane Wonders. Go to their contest page. I have no idea. Their contest page is just search for Arcane Wonders Ultimate Fan Contest. Anyhow, if you win the grand prize, you get all their games for the next 2 years.
Good Lord.
That's
All
a
their
good
new
prize.
ones coming out, or do you get backlog as well?
Every retail game from them for the next 2 years. That includes upcoming releases, which includes World Wonders,
Ooh.
Age of Wonders, Planetfall, and Neotopia. So those are the ones from this year. And then
whatever.
everything from 24 and 25.
Ooh.
Okay, so not, I mean,
This is a good
not
deal.
backlog. That's really cool, though.
Yeah, it's a good prize.
That's an exciting contest because you don't even know what you're getting. I love that.
Right.
The
I love
loot-
like the promise
Yeah.
of the next few games we put out. They're just yours.
Yeah.
I find that more exciting than like everything we've come out with.
I actually know some of those upcoming games.
You
and
do?
Yeah, I do.
What?
They're good.
Spill the beans now.
Make me. Also, the runner-ups, the losers, runner-ups, the two runner-ups will get only World Wonders, Age of Wonders, Planetfall, and Neotopia.
Okay, that's still pretty good,
What
though.
saps?
Jeez.
The results of this will be live streamed on Arcane Wonders Twitch channel. I'm just finding out that existed on November 14th. And they're going to give out even more games on that stream.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Wow.
I'm there.
Very exciting.
Am I eligible?
You are not. Illuminatus. This is a Kickstarter game that didn't succeed. I can't imagine why. But it's now being published by Dark Mushroom Games.
Can't imagine why.
You're trying to control the world with your secret agendas. This game looks like it came out in the 70s.
That is an odd
I think
look.
maybe it's made to look like that. It looks like
I
those
guess so.
Mad Magazine or that kind of artwork, the cartoons.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, you don't think that. All right, next we have
Cool.
Detonations.
Cool.
So Detonations is
What?
it's kind of weird artwork there. It's
It
like,
is
look
odd.
how cute we are behind us. The bomb is going off. This is from Pen Games.
Okay.
You control fictional countries in a fictional world, and you're trying to be the first to successfully test a nuclear bomb by
Wow.
getting the parts from junk piles.
This
Seems
is
like a-
not what I expect. I look at that cover
Huh.
and I'm like, it's cutesy. It's.
It's post-apocalyptic farming is what I get from it. Like they're getting ready to go. Like,
It's Stardew Valley Fallout.
that's what I'm getting from it.
Anyway,
What?
you're trying to get 6 different parts of a missile. Once you'll roll these dice to check success. If it fails, that part is destroyed. You need to collect it and test it again.
Oh,
it sounds like a
jeez.
bunch of rolling dice. It sounds awful, but it's in the news.
Good.
Let's go to something that sounds a little more interesting. AI Space Puzzle. So this is this was originally from Smart Flamingo, but Portal is co-publishing in this.
It was at their booth.
It's a puzzle game, a cooperative puzzle game.
Yes.
One person's the AI, and everyone else is trying to figure out the codes needed to secure your safety, which sounds very similar to that game we just played recently, where one person was the mission control and everyone else was doing
Oh,
stuff.
the 4, they were split up in 4, right?
Yeah, what was that? Is it brand new? Then who cares?
I enjoyed it.
Let's move on.
I think I liked it the
The game
most.
came out like weeks
Oh,
ago.
what
Who
was it?
cares? Okay.
What was that called?
It's old.
Here's the
Shoot,
thing,
I
though.
can't think of what it was. It's killing me.
Was it sold
Space
at their
Orbit,
booth?
Orbit.
Yeah, we got a copy.
It was
Okay,
at-
but
yeah, it was at Portal's booth.
Portal is
and
not
then-
releasing it till the second quarter of 24.
Well,
it
then
was
you're
at-
in luck.
I know it was at Portal's booth, and then it was at another booth as well, which I'm assuming is the Smart Flamingo booth. 'Cause I
Right,
saw it two
correct,
separate places,
correct.
which was a teeny, teeny, tiny little booth,
Correct.
and then it was showcased at Portal. But the one at Portal was the same one. It didn't have the Portal logo on it.
Let's take a look at some cool-looking games. I don't know if they are cool, but they look cool. The Big Five and Obelisk. These are both from a company called MNKY. Stop naming your company a series of letters. We already had YMKN, or what was that?
MNKY, Mini Kentucky.
Anyhow, these are both designed by the team of Robert Brouwer and Arjen van Hullingen. Obelisk, you're competing with other people to build obelisks.
Okay, makes sense
You're
so
collecting
far.
sets of colored granite cards, cashing sets in to build obelisks. Okay,
So
Big
set
Five.
collection. Okay.
You are a safari guide driving tourists around to see stuff, but you're going to show them different views, but you want them to see the Big Five, to see those 5 animals on the cover there, which I get. If I was in Africa, I would want to see those 5 animals.
Yeah.
Including that moo cow? The other
What moo-moo
4
cow?
I
What are you
get.
talking about? The
You
yak?
mean
cow?
the oxen?
Yeah, whatever, okay? Don't get fancy with me. You're that guy who instead of saying who, says whom.
Also, where's the
Oxen.
hippo?
I
want
call
a
it
hippo.
a cow.
That's true. I would want to see a hippo,
I want to
too.
see a hippo. I love hippos.
Hippo will kill you, though. That's the
I
problem.
know. I love them because you think they're all like fluffy and chunky, and they're not because then they kill you.
These are coming out at some
I
point
like
in
it.
2023. Now let's look at an amazing cover, Portals, which is not being released by Portal, but
Yes, this was also there,
this was
right?
there,
no,
too.
this I don't.
What?
The game wasn't there. It was being talked about there, I believe.
Oh, okay.
There was big signs for this everywhere.
Then how did I get a copy?
Did you?
No.
Well, actually, it might have been there because it said
The
it's
Big Five.
it's being released November 7th. So you might have. It was probably there.
I think it was
Anyway,
there.
there's a wizard who's traveling
thought it
between
was.
worlds, and he got lost, and you got to go follow him. Open portals. I don't know. This is from Crowd Games with a capital D at the end. They've mostly made small games in the past, haven't they?
Yeah, it looks good, though. I really like that cover. You're right. It's
I
very
like that, too.
striking.
Artwork is Jamil.
If you're gonna do some
He's a
kind
mob.
of generic like portals and wizards, make it look
I
like this. You
know.
know, make this stands out in the very overdone genre.
It could use a better name for sure, but the cover will help.
Mike said
Right.
Kenny has 5
Kenny
of these
has 5.
available in the store.
Kenny, what? There's
Has 5
five in his
available in
store.
his store.
Oh, my
All right.
Alicia, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go from that cover to Lunar Rush.
Oh.
Sorry. This is from Dead Alive Games. This is also coming
Okay.
out. Oh, it already came out October 20th. No, wait, it's not October yet. It's not October 20th. Sorry.
It's definitely October.
This
yeah.
was a Kickstarter campaign,
Okay.
and Flat River Group is distributing this, but Steven Skippy Brown designed this game, and it might be good. You're trying to mine stuff off the moon, but wow, that cover's not. That's Genaria, the cover.
Space Genaria.
Space. All right, let's talk about some cool games. Rats of Wistar and Anunnaki, they're both from Cranio Creations. We're reviewing Rats of Wistar this week. We'll review Anunnaki when I can open that box and not die from the weight of it. Both are being picked up by Capstone. Capstone is grabbing all the good stuff.
Both were super hot at Essen, too.
Yeah.
Did
I
anyone
saw that.
see Clay at Essen from Capstone?
I caught a glimpse of him being accosted by Jason Levine at our booth.
I apologize, Clay.
Yeah, he was in our booth, and Jason was like, oh, something. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. And he was trying to leave, and Jason was trying to hound him. Yes, I caught a glimpse of him.
Anyway, these are coming to America February. Like I said, you don't need to worry about the games released at Essen. They come very quickly to
They're coming.
America. The
Except
good
the
ones, anyway.
that don't, and then you'll never find them again.
Then you stand in line for an
should
hour
buy
and a half.
the little games that might never come to your country.
But also, so Pythagoras, many of their games have been picked up by Mayfair.
God, I'm dying.
So Mayfair, the company that was dead, but was then revived.
Yeah, dead alive.
Right.
John Ward was telling me he just liked the name, wanted to bring it back. So they're picking up a bunch of these games from Pythagoras. They're going to be the distributor for that. These are the games that Pythagoras has just come out with.
Huh, interesting.
Gods
okay.
of Rome, Kelta, Lata, and Lunar Rush 45. In fact, I'm reviewing Lunar Rush 45 this week.
Did you see that Kelta game there? Or Kelta? I don't know how to say it.
Well, we have it here in the
Oh, we
studio.
do? Okay, yeah. Because I never saw it. It's one that I wanted to seek out and never saw it.
Lata.
It's about sardines. Renegade Games is distributing Veil of Eternity to the U.S.
Oh, interesting.
Sure.
No?
Well, I would have preferred... Renegade does like mass market style games. I would have preferred a company...
Well, I just think it's cool that it's going to have a wide distribution here. That's what I was commenting on. I didn't realize
Oh, sure.
that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Veil of Eternity sold out, well, before the hall opened, actually.
I think every day said a number of copies per day, right? And there are ones that did
Yeah.
that, and they sold out before the hall opened every day. They said within the first 7 minutes, but those first 7 minutes were
It's a
everyone
good
that had
game.
been in
Get
line
it when
before.
you can.
It is a very good game. It is a very good game.
All right, Open, which I'm trying to figure out what this cover is showing here. Because it looks like some people who are just smoking at a table.
What am
It
I
definitely
looking
says
at?
closed to me, like with the faces hidden.
Okay, so there's
I'm
like a buffet, some sort of buffet in front of them.
There's a cake.
What's in her hand?
It looks like an arrow. Okay, this is a card shedding game. You're playing 4 of your 6 cards face up. You'll make a secret bet on who do you think will play all their cards first.
Okay, you.
This is also from Mondu Games, by the way, so I assume it's good, straight up.
Oh, okay. I didn't. This is upcoming. This was not
You're
there.
like, I'm back in.
This is coming at the Tokyo Games Fair in December. So it's a game, it's a small game that no one has. Get it. Go!
Oh my goodness, FOMO is real.
In the weirdest collaboration I've seen in a long time, Medici is being republished by Steamforged Games.
Oh.
What? Steamforged
Wow.
makes big miniature games.
Maybe this will have big miniatures in it. I bid 10 with my giant ship.
I think that's the version of it there.
Yeah.
Also, Medici is now in the running for a game published by most publishers.
Yes.
Take a hint. If it was that good, why does it keep going from publisher to publisher? It's trash.
Medici, you think it's trash?
I hate Medici.
Does it
Medici
keep
hates
selling
you
though?
I'm trying to get a rise out of Mike.
To be fair,
It's a
Ra
Knizia game.
is a very
Oh.
good game and has also been published by a bunch of different publishers.
Like 3 though.
No,
Medici has
okay?
been like 6.
Wind Rider?
That's the same. That's
yeah,
the
that
same
lasted
publisher.
like 6 months.
It's the same publisher.
Okay? Medici forever. Actually, I don't really like Medici that much.
Anyway.
It's a weird collaboration, like you were saying,
Yeah.
and it's not one that I would assume Steamforged. Oh, the look, the whatever they do production. It's kind of like what they do. This doesn't look that well produced to me. Looking at that, I'm like,
That's not the same as the last one produced. That's
no,
not
the last one
that's
looked pretty
very
good.
great artwork.
That's so,
Yes.
Really?
The last one was really the nicest one they've had yet.
Wow, that's really surprising.
From Grail Games, I think.
Okay.
And it had Vincent Trade artwork. It had a really nice, the last one was the best one, I thought.
I agree.
Huh.
All right, Wingspan. There's more Wingspan coming, but it's not what you think. It's a fan art pack. So what this was, there was a new expansion of 255 cards that replaced the cards in the base game.
Okay, right.
So basically he had a contest. Jamie Stegmaier was impressed by people's fan-created art. And so he said, what if we made a promo pack? And then they're sending $1 for every promo pack they print to charity, blah, blah, blah.
Nice.
What
What if we printed money?
I show the next slide. I had Mike put up a picture of, this is an example of some of the stuff. It's really all over the place. I personally don't like this because I think it makes the game look very inconsistent when you're playing.
I agree, yeah. I think there's some cool ones. I might go through and like hand pick some ones and some that I would keep just because I like the art, but to actually use in the game, I definitely like the
Would you buy that though just to get a
consistently.
few of them? It'd be weird to buy like
I don't
265
think
cards
so.
to
But
use
also,
like 3.
I'm not like a Wingspan lover. I'm a Wingspan lukewarmer.
I like the goose. That one looks pretty good on the
But I
side there.
do not like that
goose?
with the others. You talking about the middle row, far left?
Yeah, I would like a whole set that looked like that.
Yes, and that's
But it's
different.
all
but like
brown. It's the only one that has a
that's
background.
it. I mean,
It's
similar
weird.
to the second one in from the left on the top row,
The
the
black
black one.
one?
It's like it's too harsh. It
It's
doesn't
just
go
weird.
well. So
It's-
no,
They went for two, they really are pushing the extremes. I don't like that. I don't mind this idea, but 200 some cards that all come from different artists. There's no consistency in background color, style, anything.
Yeah, there was no
Forget this.
parameters set.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Well, there was some
looking at all
parameters. No. Yeah, but there
all
wasn't
merged.
much.
offensive nature,
That's the
no
only
what
parameter.
mating animals.
I'm sure
Anyhow,
it's very cute and it's a nice celebration.
Yeah,
I don't want to play with it.
when I went
That's
to
the thing, yeah.
when I went to the website, 1,700 have already been sold, I believe. Where was
And it was
that?
there. It was there at the
No, 1,400 out of. There's only. Wait, let me refresh this.
because they shared a booth with Inside Up at Essen,
Yeah.
and I know they did very well.
They were
This was
selling
there.
quite a few.
This was
Oh, this was there.
yes.
Yeah, this was there.
Oh, I didn't see it there. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I got one.
middle shelf, lower left.
They were selling it. Like you could buy it.
It was
Yes.
on the shelf to pick up.
Yes, they
I
had it
assume
there.
they let you
I
pay
have
for it and
one.
walk away with it.
All right, let's get to some good news.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this is fine, I guess. I'm just not that excited about
I
it.
think
It's
if you
more of
love the
same.
game, it's a neat novelty item. And I think if they had something like this for Meadow, I would probably keep it or keep it if it fit in my game box just as a little novelty thing. But I also like to take cards out and look at them. But
Okay.
for play, it isn't odd. Yeah, I also like.
Give me some good news.
This
Tom.
I'm very
News.
excited about. A new Undaunted's been announced. Undaunted 2020.
This is
or
different.
2200 Callisto. So
Wow.
sci-fi Undaunted. I'm all on board with that. I like the base system. There's
that
some
gun.
corporations fighting on Jovian Moon base. And so you pick a side there. It's a standalone game, obviously. It'd be weird if you could combine it with Stalingrad.
Normandy.
But there's 2-player, 4-player, and solo game modes in it.
All right. Well, this is the one that's finally going to get me to play.
This is the one
Undaunted.
right. I'm like, oh, okay, all right.
That's
this
what
looks
Roy
good.
said.
This looks cool.
I have not played Undaunted yet. I hear only good things,
Right.
but I'm just not that interested.
Do I get to be that mech?
I want to be
Who you gonna be?
that guy right there who's being shot at by that mech.
By the mech? Done. Done.
Alrighty, and then finally, Dune Imperium had a secret pre-release invitational.
What?
That Roy went to. He was one of the secret invitational people. They had $20,000 in cash prizes and the most popular YouTuber in the world, Mr. Beast. And if you're watching this and you go, I don't know who Mr. Beast is, do one of two things. Do a quick search. He has 158 million subscribers. Or ask anyone under the age of 20 because they all know who he is. to the point where he can barely walk in public because people will accost him.
Wow.
Which is why this had to be held in secret. And interesting enough, he won the tournament. He sponsored the tournament, but then he won it. And he played against designers of the game, against Roy Canada. All these people were in this. There's 32 people in the tournament, right? People who are good players from what's it on Board Game Arena?
Yeah, the top BGAs.
Top BGA players, and he won. So then he donated the check of $10,000 to the next tournament that will happen in the future.
Interesting, because Dune Imperium was one of the games in the World Series of Board Gaming, right?
Yes, but this is Dune Imperium Uprising.
I know. I'm just my question, like to the top, on BGA. I know some of them were there as well. I wonder if any of them went back to back.
I don't think any of them were there.
No.
Really?
I played all of them beforehand, which is funny.
So Roy was the representative for there. Yeah, maybe they'll bring them in next time. But yeah, so that was an interesting event.
He's the one in the blue shirt hat, holding the trophy. Okay. Now you don't have to look him up. Now I know who he is.
Yeah, he's there in the middle. His name is Jimmy Donaldson. So he won, and that happened. And Dune Imperial Uprising is an actual finished copy game. We know this because we got one here in the studio. So don't ask us to review it yet because I haven't even played it. I haven't even looked in it, but it exists. So go check it out. So anyhow, that is the news.
Hi, I'm Anne from Game Like a Mother. I specialize in games that can be played in 20 minutes or less. And today I want to talk about the genre of games that are picture clues. Dixit is probably the most well-known of these, and it's a very simple social game, kind of along the lines of apples to apples, except there's just a little bit more going on in this game. You are, if you were the clue giver, you're picking a word or a phrase that you think goes along with one of the cards in your hand, and then you lay it out face down on the table, and everybody else lays down a picture card from their hand that they think goes along with the word or phrase you just chose, and then you score points as a guesser by either correctly guessing the clue giver's card or by having other people guess your card that you put out as well. So it's really simple. It's really fun. My 4-year-old daughter can hang in there pretty well while playing this game, but also adults enjoy playing it just even if there aren't any kids around. So it's a testament to the game, the widespread appeal. There is a Disney version of this coming out in the next few months, so be on the lookout. So the same publisher, Libellude, has another few games, and this is kind of their niche, it seems like, where they have One Key, Mysterium Parks, Mysterium Kids, which are all really fun, we enjoy, but I feel like they're pretty well known, and a game that has this kind of gameplay and is a little more under the radar is Similo, and we love Similo. It's just one of those games that's a nice little deck of cards, so it's so compact, so portable, and affordable, and it's easy to play, but so fun. In this game, it's co-op, and you are working together. The clue giver picks a card at random out from the deck and then puts it out with an array of 11 other cards, and they're trying to give clues just with the picture cards left in the deck to get the other people to guess the correct card. So in the original deck, if you had the animal deck, and you're trying to get them to guess the cat card, you might put, if you have like a squirrel card in your hand, you might put it up, vertical besides the stack of cards, and that means it's like the item you're trying to get them to guess, and they say, okay, small mammal, that means it maybe is kind of like this cat, or hedgehog, or whatever else is out there, and then they'd remove some of the other cards. Or they can put out like a snake, sideways, which means it's not like the thing you're trying to get them to guess, and so then they might remove reptiles or amphibians because that is not like the cat or the small mammal, and you just try to go until you just have one card left. Well, what's great about this game is you still lose a fair amount of the time. It's tricky to give good clues. It seems like this would be a shoo-in for kids. It's difficult at first, and so what's nice is even if you lose, it's so quick to just, gather up all the cards, shuffle them really quick, pick out a new card, and start a new game. They also have where you can combine different decks. They have a bunch of different decks you can play with, and my kid's favorite is to combine the regular animals with wild animals is really fun, but they have other decks too. They have fables, myths, history, spookies. They even have Harry Potter. So just a nice range of decks to choose from. They all have descriptions on the sides of the cards. So this is great. It can be educational for kids too. Spookies was fun. I got to explain what a banshee was, but they just read on the side of the card. It's part of Irish folklore. And so they're just really easy, nice range of play, work well for kids, but also for adults. It's a nice, pleasant, mellow game to get out and play with a couple of people. It works well. It's very flexible how many people you play with. And I usually prefer physical copies of games, but this is published by Horrible Guild, and they do a really nice job with their app versions of games, and you can get the base version of this for $2 on their app, which is very nice. And it's nice to have a few app versions of games. It comes in handy. We have a big theme park trip planned in the next few weeks, and I'm very happy to have this available for us to play in long lines, and you can get a bunch of the expansions too, and they're all very cheap, affordable, and the app works well. So it's pretty fun. You should check it out. That's it for me. Thanks for tuning in. You can check out more of my content on my website or my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and back to the folks in the studio.
Hey everybody, we're talking now about our top 3 things from the Spiel Fair at Essen. I think this was my 9th fair I've been to, and I think it's Z's 8th, if I'm doing the math correctly. And it was your 2nd.
It was my 2nd. That math
think
is
I've been every
good.
time you've been.
No, I went with Laura way back in the day.
Okay.
With Ruby when she was a baby, which is a great idea to carry a baby around Essen. Fantastic.
So 8 times, huh? That sounds about right.
I think so, because I
Wow,
think
that's
it was the
many.
year after Caverna came out. Because Caverna was the last year I didn't go.
Yeah, something like that. It's about 8. Yeah, I'll go with you on that one.
Anyhow, so top 3 things. This could be anything, whatever. This won't be super long because we have a lot of discussion we'll do about that in just a second. But over to you. What's your number 3?
Okay, so my number 3 is going to be my one name droppy one. I apologize up front. I got to meet, well, you get to meet a lot of people there, but one of the famous people that I got to meet was Sashi, who has a company called Sashi and Sashi. And I really like their games. They do a lot of very cute, interesting, clever little games out of Japan. The latest one I played, anyway, was a game called Come Sail Away, which I really liked. It's got a Mancala mechanism. And meeting Sashi, his wife, their interpreter, and just how incredibly polite and sweet they all were. How kind, how just welcoming they were being was amazing to me. It was very humbling, meeting someone that I have great respect for, whose products I very much enjoy, and feeling like I was getting some of that back was very humbling and very sweet and special. So that's my number 3, meeting Sashi and his wife and the interpreter.
All right, my number 3 is the only game on my list. It was an upcoming game from Artipia Games called Firefighters on Duty.
Oh, that looks so
you got
good.
to play it?
No, I just looked at it and the idea of it. I very rarely get excited about an upcoming game, and I saw it. I was like, Firefighters, that's a pretty cool theme, blah, blah. And then I talked to them, and they're like, it's based on Project Elite. I was like,
What?
what on earth? Did you not know this?
No! I was totally mesmerized by the guy because there was that massive firefighter
two
out there.
dudes, two
and they were
giant-
out there painting them at the fair. Did you see that? He'd go up and
did
touch it
not.
up every morning. I always never had my phone on me when he was doing it for the footage, but yeah, he'd be out there like touching it up, and it was crazy.
I
to see
thought
his-
for sure I told you it was based on
You
Project
didn't, not to
Elite.
this moment.
So
All right,
yeah,
hold on, my number 3.
so there's a bunch of firefighters, but you don't control any single one. There's 8 in every game, and you control them, but you have your own fire truck with these 8 firefighters. It sounds amazing. That idea, fighting fire real time, sounds
That.
so great.
Oh my gosh, like a real time. What is that one? Never mind, I can't think of the name.
I think it's the same
No, the other
designer. It is the same designer as Constantonius. I can't pronounce her name.
That's Project
Anyway.
Elite, though, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Constantine. Yes.
Yeah, you're going to go around, put out fires, save civilians, safeguard properties. You roll
Yes.
dice as fast as you can, and you do things based on them. I mean, it's different, he said, but I don't care. I was like, yes.
Oh, that's such a good fit for the theme.
I think so too. Like throw fire off the board. Get my face fire.
Yeah, you're putting it out. And it's like, that's super exciting. I had no idea.
I'm with her.
That might have been
I'm super pumped.
I would have made time to play a game because I didn't get to play any games if I knew that.
I feel like I am no longer pumped compared to Camilla.
I'm so excited.
I think it's coming to Kickstarter, but I might be wrong. We'll see.
That's okay.
All right,
I'll
what's your
find
number
out.
3?
My number 3 is I had an opportunity.
Garbage.
What?
Compared to Firefighter.
Comparatively, I don't know. Mine's something I'm very excited and hopeful about is I got to try out a new kind of paint. I feel like I've never, and I talked about this in the vlog as well, I've never used AK paint. I don't know why. I just never have picked up. It's a well-known brand. And so I got to sit down, kind of try some of it. It was interesting with the layout this year where everything was together categorically. So there's like 7 or 8 paint booths, and I was like, that one. That's a brand I know that I haven't tried yet. But I sat down, the guy was painting, and he is very much beyond my skill set, but just talking to him and having him talk about the paints, and he let me try some of his comparative to the contrast paints. They're called deep washes, I think, or deep paint.
Deep washes.
Deep shades. That's what they are. And anyway, and so it was just really fun, and I brought some. Oh, and they had these pens. They have these metallic pens. But Tom, listen, they're not like just metallic. They're like chrome. Like when you use the silver one, it looks like a mirror. It's gonna blow your mind. I'm gonna
start nodding off
there.
there.
It's gonna be great. Anyway, I'm really excited.
Fire.
I got some of those to try out, and then hopefully I'll review them or something. I don't know, but at least I'm gonna try them. I'm really excited to try a new paint, and I got to try it before I bought it, pick out some colors I was looking for anyway, and get them to the table.
AK. My number 2 was one of the very few games I played there, and I really, really enjoyed it. This is something I know you played as well. This is the Art Project.
Oh, yeah.
The Art Project is coming out from the Op. It is from the Lumberjacks studio in collaboration with the Op now. So you'll be able to get it here in the States. And it's just covered in gorgeous artwork. It's a cooperative game of you traveling around with your partners rescuing artwork from thieves. It's very quick. The game looks a little more intimidating, where like it's going to be a little bit bigger than it is. It's actually a really simple, straightforward card dice game. You play some cards. The cards do good and bad things right there, so it's self-balancing. The number of players really doesn't matter, and I think it scales pretty well. I played with 5, and that went well.
That's really surprising. That's good.
Yeah, you play every card you play does something good, spread some baddies, and does something bad, so it sort of evens out. And then you move around this board and roll some dice and attack some fools. Try to rescue art. It's got a bunch of maps, like 6 different maps. Each one behaves a little differently. It came down to the wire, too, and we were able to pull off a win. So I sat down, played,
Nice.
Must be nice to win.
Yeah, man,
I
you
don't want it
gotta
yet,
get
so.
good. Is what the guy was like. You gotta get good, and I was like, okay, I'm on it.
Can't imagine French people saying get good.
He's actually the guy from the Op who taught me.
Maybe he did say get good then.
No, he didn't. He was being very sweet. I had a great time with it, and everybody who sat down and played, thank you very much for joining me for that play, because I just had an absolute blast.
All right, my number 2 is the final thing we did, which was Doner Kebab. I'm sorry, we started this last year. We went there for the final night, and I was like, new tradition. And we did it again, and everybody who helped at the Dice Tower booth, except somebody had to leave. Daniel,
yes. He had to leave.
Daniel had to go. But everybody else, we went, and we just had a great time chilling, and that kebab is... I thought the kebab at the fair was good. It is garbage compared to what's downtown Essen. And then just sitting there, chilling, the light festival in the background.
That was really cool.
And then we had really good gelato afterwards. It was a great time. That was my favorite meal, by far.
Yeah, it's a good atmosphere for sure. My number 2 is similar to Z's, just a different game, but it was playing that game live there in our booth, and I played the Draft and Write Records, which is the new one coming from Inside Up Games.
Oh, it looks great.
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So I enjoyed the game a lot. But then the experience of just sitting down, and I actually played with the daughter of Connor, who is Inside Up Games. I played with his daughter. She's played the game a ton of times, so any questions we had, we directed to her. Don't yell at me. I assume she's like 10 or 11, somewhere in that range is what she seemed, which was just really impressive.
She's 17.
Yeah, right. She probably is. I don't have any idea. She's Anyway, but then I enjoyed the game. It's a lot going on. It's one of those combo-tastic kind of roll and write games, but it's a draft and write game, and I love that mechanism of you're drafting something to then play a little bit of hate drafting because you're watching what your neighbors have going on, but ultimately you're focusing on your board. So just a delightful game and a really fun experience. I played 2 rounds of it in the hour and a half with 2 different groups, and they were just absolutely lovely.
2 games of it, right?
2 games of it. When I say 2 rounds, I meant 2 plays of the game. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number one?
My number 1 was meeting so many people from all over the world, and I got to speak a lot of Spanish at this trip.
You did. Speak
I
a
got
lot
to
of
meet
Spanish.
a lot of people who came. There's always a lot, especially at Essen. It's the one place it happens anywhere, where people come up to me and they say a few things in English, and then they're like, "Do you speak Spanish?" They're like a little sheepish about it. I'm like, "Yeah, I speak Spanish," and so then they can switch to Spanish and.
What country do you think were they from? Like mostly South America? Because I met a lot of people from Chile.
Yeah, it's mostly South America. There's a couple of Spaniards there.
Argentina, some people.
Yeah,
I
there
think
was
I met some
Argentina.
Argentinians, yes.
Colombia.
Mexicans.
Does Colombia speak
Mexicans,
some
yeah,
Mex-
the
yeah,
tequila
Colombia
was
is Spanish,
Mexican.
Yeah, they were people from all over
Tequila
South
game,
America
not-
mostly. And again, it's just really cool to meet all these people that go there, who come sometimes from this place, mind you, to go to Essen Spiel. And just getting to meet these people in person and chatting a little bit in Spanish. It's really cool. So
My number one is similar to Zizo, though it's more physical, and that's our booth. I loved our booth this year. It was the best booth we've ever had at any con. We had a nice little room that we could go into, but also just we had space in the booth for people to come and talk. And I especially like the booth on Sunday. If you want to come by and talk to us, Sunday's a great day because there was so few people. I was able to have
That was weird.
longer conversations with people there. And playing games in the booth was really fun. We had a lot of time.
It was.
I'm sorry for the people who didn't win the lotteries of playing in the booth. We did that, but it was a good time, and I really enjoyed the booth this year.
Very nice.
somebody's asking any Cubans at Essen. Yes, at least one. Come on.
All right, mine, number 1 is a game specifically that I got to play, and it is not released yet. It's coming up, so I played a very done prototype. I think they're aiming for it to be released in February, so just
You
right
said
around
you
the
played
corner.
no games at the show.
I lied.
Okay,
I was building suspense.
got it.
It'll work.
You were being misled.
You've taught her well, Garcia.
And it is called AI. It's coming from Explorate, who is the same ones that did Federation. And it's a card game coming up, and it feels kind of like Earth, where you're building out your tableau and each card scores, but it only scores when you put the card down. So you're planning out a card to put down and how they're going to synergize together, but at the same time, it only scores that one point. So you need to set it up effectively and kind of have this chain effect of how it scores. It is really good. It's played in 2 rounds. It was quick. It was like a 30, 35-minute game at most. Had drafting again. I love drafting. Drafting, tableau building. It's really, really
not
good.
on Board Game Geek yet.
Whoopsie.
You were so far ahead of the curve.
Anyway, look out for it. AI. It was like about midway through the play, it was just like, oh, I like this. And it's one of those that just stayed on my mind. That was cute. Yeah, really, really liked it. I'm super stoked about it. It was, and they were just, again, you're talking about the people you meet. They're from France. And they are just absolutely delightful people. And did it in English because that's all I know. But just to see the passion behind it and them teaching it, it was just, a lot of times their kind of passion is like, oh, okay, kind of carries the game. This is one like, no, the game was right there. Their passion was right there. It was just a fantastic experience overall. So loved it.
All righty, let's keep going.
everyone, it's Stella, and this is Darren from Maple University, and today we have Herd Mentality. This is a party game, plays 4+ players, and this might incite discussions for like an hour about the topic in the game.
Yeah, so this is it's a party game that involves answering questions and trying to match with other players. So you would ask a question.
So like, name a very cold country.
And then everyone would write down their option for a very cold country, and you're aiming to get the answer which the most people guessed.
To earn the points.
Yes.
And this is if you really want to count the point. Like a lot of party games, you don't really care much about that points. It's more the journey, not the destination. But in this case, if you are the only one out, the odd one out, you get this pink cow.
Yes, which means you cannot win the game until someone else takes it from you.
Yeah, so often in this game, I feel like I want to answer this, but then I think that most people will answer that instead. So I would write that, not this. Right? Would you do
Yeah,
that?
indeed. And I think for me it's a little bit of a failing of the game, at least for me. Usually with these matching sorts of games, I like the old Dixit style. I like getting to be a little bit obscure, and I get my enjoyment out of this. Trying to find the most common answer. It's definitely a much gentler game, and it kind of works like it's a bit of an icebreaker.
Well, I want you to be in the same game as me so that you'll be the only odd one out and not me. You get this here for you. No, I'm kidding.
The box has fur on it as well. There's cow fur on here,
Very
which
cute.
is very fun.
That's Herd Mentality. Thanks for watching.
Back to work.
All right.
Back to work.
So talking about the Spiel Fair.
Spiel.
So I'm going to start off by saying this was my favorite Spiel that I've ever been to.
Ever been to?
I think it was the best. It was
Wow.
great. It was twice as good, at least, as last year.
I will agree. Well, that's my only comparison is last year, and it was very different. And outside of Saturday I did not enjoy. There was so many people. It was
There's a lot of people, but I was at the booth a lot Saturday, which kept me from being out in the
and
crowds.
I wasn't. I was going around, had to make appointments and stuff like that. And I mean, it would take what usually took a 10-minute walk was a 25-minute walk. It was
busy.
insane.
It was sweaty and busy.
Now, I do want to say that even though I liked it, there was one thing I really disliked, and that's my favorite thing at Essen.
The bathrooms.
No, my favorite thing at Essen was not good this year, and that was the press event the day before.
Oh, that was worse than
completely
Saturday.
Forgot about that.
I blacked it out.
That was a big old miss.
Right.
So every year, publishers can sign up to be in this whole little hall, and they get to set their game up. They set the whole game up, and then the press and people can come in and look at them and talk to publishers and designers. It's great.
Yeah,
You
if
can
you've
see-
ever seen our footage of that event, or if you've even seen like hot pictures from on BGG, if the picture shows a game and you can see that there's like a little bit of another game, like spilling in from the sides, it's from that event most likely, in the past. So that you have an idea of what we're talking about. They set up a lot of things next to each other.
And they usually had it downstairs. There's a spot by hall 1 or 2, whatever. A
Yeah.
downstairs area, a nice big open room. It's
good.
That when all the press went down there, it was a little crowded, but it was fine. This was, they had tables, long tables going down in this room with all these games set up, room for 2 people to walk side by side down here, but then people have to stand in front of these tables.
I mean, I want to say the whole aisle was, I'm going to be generous and say the aisle was from me to Z wide. I think it was
No
probably, it was a
way.
little bit more than the width of you guys right there.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit wider now,
Because
but
you have
not
like
much.
a third, but that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be generous and say me to Z, but I think it was somewhere between the sides of this couch and me and Z.
It was
3 people could not fit comfortably.
It was upstairs. It was in a very warm room.
There was a lot of armpits and crop dusting.
There was a lot of that. It was not there was not a good flow through the
It
room.
was, right.
It seems like, again, before that one room they used to do it in, they had that figured out.
But then they also decided halfway through to give out the DSP awards there. So all the press was smashing up to the front, trying to take pictures, and those guys carrying giant cameras through this hall.
Well, and then they didn't have anywhere for the presenters to stand, so they were just like loitering, and I don't mean this negative towards them, it's negative towards the setup. There's like loitering in the aisles as well, and it's like, well, what about this game? Oh, well, let me tell you about that game, over there as like people are walking by and bumping. Like, it was,
Yeah.
Oof.
It was the one obvious badly organized part.
Yeah.
It was apparent. It
Yeah.
was immediately apparent.
It was so bad. Like I made a note, I'm going to go back later, and I never went back because I was just like, oh, I can't. Like I just.
Well, it was
could
probably
not.
fine.
I'm sure it was, but like I just could not bring myself to it. I was like, man, it was so bad.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate, and hopefully they got enough feedback and they won't do that next year.
Yes.
Yeah,
huge
I was trying to
fail.
fight through because normally we take a ton of footage there.
Yeah.
And I ran into, was it you and Mike? Or I was like,
Yeah,
go
me and Mike.
guys, you don't have to stay here.
Right, yeah.
Chris beat his way through the one room. I beat my way through the other room. And then when I was done, I was like, normally I would go around several times to see what I missed, and I just didn't care. I
think
left.
You ran into me and Mike. You're like, hey guys, you can come back and do this later. We were like, hey, bye. And just like, it was.
And it was also weird, like if you didn't want to talk to someone, too bad.
Well, I really feel bad because it was such a disservice to the games. Like, what did I miss? Like, it was so. These are the ones that I'm excited about. Show me what's coming up. Show me example. Walk me through a little bit of something that I can go downstairs and buy. It's like the hot, the new, the upcoming, and it just like killed all interest. It was like it was a huge miss.
Well, but
Thanks for bringing it back up. I'd forgotten.
Well, I was just saying
I
that
was
was
still
my
mad about
one
Saturday.
negative thing. I mean, other than that, I was
Nothing
very
can save
happy.
it. I'm just sad now.
The other thing is the big Galleria, that hall. They didn't put the flow of traffic there very well. It was packed.
The food truck hall.
From 3 to 4, yes.
Yeah.
From hall 3 to hall 4 particularly, it was actually faster for you to go from hall 3 into hall 2,
Yes.
cross the Galleria into hall 5, and then come back into hall 4.
And to give perspective, that's probably 3 times as far.
Yeah.
But still took that long.
Faster, yeah.
It was really rough.
Tell me some good things.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Other than that,
I really do love the new layout of how they did things. I was kind of very apprehensive about it. Like, oh, they moved everything around. And I do know that there was, some publishers were put in places they didn't want to be. They got stuck in different areas. Like some publishers were put in hall 4 where all the manufacturers were, and they didn't love that. But I love saying, oh, hall 1 is mostly, you said there was paints and stuff in there, miniatures. I went through it once and I was like, I'm done. I don't need to go here. Hall 6, all the big German publishers were there. I went through that a couple times. I was like, I'm good. Hall 3, where we were, that's where all the strategy games
Yeah.
are. I can hang out in here for a while. It's just knowing, and if they continue to do that, you can kind of know where you want to go.
Yeah.
I do feel like I miss some of those little hobby places being sprinkled throughout, though, because like I said, when I went into
What do you mean hobby place?
like the paints, for example, like little, or there was like the little arts and crafts and that kind of stuff, like little personal booths. I miss that being sprinkled throughout because I do like, it's very daunting, I guess, if you walk in and there's 15 paint places right there. I might see 1 or 2 and then I'm done. But if they're sprinkled throughout, I'm probably going to check out a couple more of them. It's like, oh, I'll do some paints and then I'll come back and say, oh, there's another paint booth. Let me look at that one. I do miss that because, like you said, if I went in there and I saw a cave, I never went back again. Whereas,
Yeah, I don't know. I think
So
I think they're going to keep doing this. I doubt they'll change it.
Sure.
I think they'll change
yeah,
where some people are.
I think they'll keep it. I'm just saying that's my feedback. Because I do wish there were some things specifically. I think as far as the games go, having it categorically worked real well, but I just wish some of the other ones were a little more interspersed.
The problem is with this system is that most companies do not have one kind of game.
Yeah,
Some
that's true,
companies
too.
do a party game, and then they make a strategy game, and
No,
then
I
they
get
make
that.
a whatever game. So where do you stick them?
I think you would stick them where they wanted to go. That would be.
It's not going to work.
But
you
where's
know?
that line too? Like then who gets to choose and who doesn't? I mean, as
Again,
soon as you
there's
get
no
muddy,
perfect way. I'm just saying I think I liked it better than the original layout, which was kind of just very scattered.
Yeah.
Everything was anywhere. The difference, though, people said Hall 3 was really packed, and it was. But I think a lot of people are saying that because they've never been in Hall 3 before. Hall 3 used to have the big German publishers. Hall 3 has always been insane.
Yes.
It's always been the most packed hall.
Interesting.
By a
Okay.
mile.
Well, it's also that entrance. Everyone
Right,
comes right in
that's
there.
why.
Yeah.
You walk in there, yeah.
It's people go in and they just start looking right. Most people don't go in and go to where they're going, except for on Thursday, the people who are hunting down games. Games sold out right and left at the show.
Yes.
If you came in shopping on late Saturday or Sunday and you were looking for hot new games, unless they brought a kabillion of them, you weren't getting
Unless they're a
them.
big company, right, and also
Yeah.
had their production. Also, Mike just pointed out the collaborative booths, and I wanted to comment on that as well. I really loved seeing some of the smaller companies come together for a booth. You know, one that sticks out is that Spanish company that was just down from us that had the witch. It's like
Salt and
Resist.
Pepper?
Salt and Pepper, and then they also were with that other company that was doing that little cat horror game.
Explode.
Anyway, I don't know, but then Sashi and Sashi was also there with the Oink. And so I just
Yes.
loved seeing some of these collaborations. Those were really interesting booths and really cool to see them being able to attend something like this because maybe they can't afford or don't have enough games. Whatever their reason being, could not fill a whole booth or make it happen. To see that collaboration, it goes back to what we were talking about too, just the representation, the worldwide representation at Spiel is so impressive. The languages that are spoken, the types of games that are represented, just everything is so fantastic. And to see that happening in the booths as well, to filter down on that smaller level was just so exciting, so good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I really like that. There was some interesting collaborations. I mean, Connor Inside Up was with
Stonemeyer. First time Stonemeyer's been there. And I think they could do their own booth, you know, but still the fact that
he doesn't like doing conventions.
But it's because of that. So that's another reason not to. He doesn't want to go, oh, cool, I can do this and split. Fantastic, great. And then Stonemeyer, Wingspan, the Expedition, those are able to be there. It's really cool to see.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the international flavor of the show. I always do. That's one of my favorite things. Just having people come up and from every country imaginable and talking, and it's neat. We appreciate that we have fans from all over the world. We forget that sometimes, and you know, you come up and talk to us, and it was a weird thing because Thursday and Saturday were very crowded. Thursday, people coming in to get games. Saturday crowded because it was. Sunday felt particularly light to the point where I don't remember it ever being that light before.
It was definitely, I've only been there twice, but it was definitely the lightest day out of the 8 days I've done.
Yeah, I think so. It was particularly busy on Saturday and particularly slow on Sunday, which was very interesting. And I don't know why it felt that way this year.
Please may it be that way all the time, though, because it made
great.
it really easy for us to
Fantastic.
kind of cool down. At the last hour or two, people come by, you talk to them, and just kind of jive in there. And then when it was done, we backed up and we left. It was pretty easy.
So it was really good. I very much enjoyed Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, we also had a lot of fantastic help at our booth, which we definitely need to shout out because, like Tom is saying, we were able to pack up and leave. And running the booth and packing it up and leaving went very smoothly because of folks who helped us there. So
Uli,
big shout out.
Caro, and Daniel, and Kirk.
Even
Yes,
Mike
Kirk.
Delicio was there, and things still went okay.
I saw him working twice. Can you believe
I don't know
that?
about that. Okay?
crazy.
That was a fever
Wow.
dream.
Here to say.
Pot kettle.
What?
Huh?
Huh?
So anyhow, there was a lot of new games there. An unbelievable amount. You saw, if you watch your Essen live unboxing, we had 153 games, and that was half of what we have. It's in the mail, the rest of it. That's crazy. You don't need to play that many games, but there's so many games that I'm excited to play.
There are.
Like we have a shelf right outside here with just the hottest, in my opinion, and it's 2 whole shelves worth. And I'm like, I want to play that. There's so
Yeah.
many good ones.
Yeah.
It's, definitely hard.
This was one of my favorite conventions there. I think Essen beat Gen Con this year.
Essen beats Gen Con for me most years. So.
Yeah, well, I know it does. For me,
Yeah.
not often, because there's a lot of things I like at Gen Con. I like...
Yeah. Gen Con's trash. Let's go ahead and put that out there.
I
Word.
like all the cosplay. I think Gen Con is different, but my personal taste, I think, align more with Essen.
It all came down to our booth. If Gen Con would give me a booth like I have at Essen, that'd be amazing.
Shit.
Yeah.
Gen Con's very restrictive, the size of your booths. Essen, you can get pretty much anything you want. So, Mike says S&P Gen Con, but that's just because Mike can go hunt down all those little weird games.
He also,
How many trick-taking games did Mike DeLisio get?
1,000.
that's
the
really
real
interesting because he gets to. I mean, Gen Con is his backyard, so if Essen beats that and even Gen Con,
No,
he
that's
can
why
sleep
he's
in
going to
his
say it's
own
better.
bed.
It's more exotic for him
It's
than to go.
exotic. It's
No, if
exotic.
I can sleep
Mike
in my
is all
own
about
bed,
being exotic. When I think Mike
that's a huge
DeLisio, I
plus.
think exotic. It's just the truth of it. I'm sorry.
Now you've ruined a lot of stuff, but all right. Anyhow, lots of cool games. We'll see how many of the games there. People ask us, like, what's the hottest game of the show? I wouldn't know. Vladimir Suchi's probably the hottest designer
Yeah.
because he had 4 pretty hot
Yeah,
games
That
there.
evacuation game, I think, was the hottest thing of the show.
That's possible. That was
So.
CGE, right?
Yeah, and
So, yeah.
Vladimir, no, that's delicious, right?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, it's delicious.
And
I'm sorry.
Vladimir Suchi.
And sushi, yep.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, that's it for Board Game Smorgasbord. We'll be back in 4 hours with Shoots and Marbles for a limited release run. Until then, I'm Tom Bassel.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Z Garcia.
Have fun gaming.
Stay exotic.